Me and Sen is driving now here in SRP because we just been to the restaurant of our friend, Mrs. Manalili, the Seafood Paradise in SM Seaside. So I know that he's been out of Cebu for almost 2 years. He hasn't seen the opening of El Corso, but we will not be stopping in El Corso right now because it's now getting late. It's now
City Mare is improving as well. I mean,
4:20, the City de Mare, yeah. Well, we'll be talking about while driving that what is the procedure if you want to visit other islands, because Sen has just been from Manila. I just picked him up in the airport about 12:15, and so he can tell you what are the procedure. Like all my OFWs, my kababayan that wants to visit Cebu, because it's allowed now for domestic travel, or other foreigners that's in another island who wants to come to Cebu. So what was the procedure?
there are different category. If you are an OFW coming from like other countries, like in the Middle East or Singapore, Japan, other countries, there's a different category for that. But if you are a locally stranded individual, if you will be categorized as that, the procedure is first, once you have a ticket, you first book a ticket. Once you have a ticket, you have to have your rapid test. Rapid test is acceptable, though the standard is the PCR test. PCR test is gonna get some specimen coming out from your throat. And
But what's the rapid test? What does it involve?
rapid test is only a small amount of blood taken out from you, and
Blood test.
Yeah, it's just like a blood test. That's the rapid test, and it only would cost you around 1,500, or some would offer it like 800. And then once you have a rapid test, so that you can have it cheaper, you don't need to go to private doctors or clinics. You can go to a city health or any municipal health centers. Once you're there, you present your rapid test. That's the only document.
The
a negative one, yeah.
I mean, how long will you take the test? I mean, how long is the test?
The rapid
result?
test would only take you like an hour, and then the result, not even an hour, but just 15 minutes. Once they get out blood from your as a specimen, yes, as a specimen, you can get it for an hour after. You can get the result an hour after. If you're negative, you present it to any medical clinics. I advise for local or like the city health. And once you have it, just present it to the doctor. They will give you a medical certificate that you are indeed negative of the COVID. And then once you have it, you go to your police where you are living. But most importantly, say for example, if you're an OFW, you're coming abroad and you're in Pasay. Usually, if you're in Manila, you stay in a hotel in Pasay. You ask for any police station where you can get the travel authority. Once you present the medical certificate, your ID,
So the travel authority is from the police station?
Yes, the travel authority is coming from the police, and then.
So how, like the rapid test, how long will you get it? A few hours?
Yes, an hour, and then once you have it, that's the time that you can have your medical. After that, you can get your travel authority from the police. And
so you have to pay another doctor to issue you a medical certificate based in your rapid test?
Yes, but that's why I advise that you can go to medical clinic, that's city health clinic, so that you will no longer be paying for the doctor. Just only 50 pesos. Like I came from Valenzuela. It's very organized in their city. The doctor asked me only to pay 50 pesos for my medical certificate, and then they provided me a medical certificate indicating that I am COVID free, and then that's the document that I presented to the police
station.
The police station.
Then the police station, you pay. How much did you pay in the police station? Is it free?
It's free.
So the police station will issue you a travel authority to travel.
Yes.
Something like that.
Once you are in the airport, that depends on the area where you will be going, because if you go to Cebu City, there's a different requirement for that. So
what you did is put it that you're going to the province.
yes, because in Cebu's province, the governor, our governor, declares that
no strict.
it's an open city, no acceptance letter coming from the place where you will be staying. So in my case, since I have a sister from Dalaget, I declare that I will be going to Dalaget. So once I was in the airport, I told the officer that
I'm going to Dalaget.
Yes, I'm going to the province. There's no acceptance letter there, because they know that in the city they would ask for acceptance letter.
So that's why if you're coming here in the Cebu, do not say that you're going to Cebu City, because the Manila authorities or the other authorities will be asking you for more requirements. But if you say you're going to any province in Cebu that you can remember, and they ask the address, of course you will say poblacion, because every province got poblacion. Then they will not ask anymore, because the governor, she is very nice, declared the province of Cebu as open. So no letter of acceptance is needed. So that's why the Manila, I heard that the Manila, the Manila authority is really awkward. They're really strict.
Yes, they're strict there. That really depends on what kind of travel or accommodation, because if you are an OFW, you will be required to book for an hotel to quarantine. But if you're just a locally stranded individual, like you are from, say for example, you are from Quezon City and
from other islands as well,
you will be going to Iloilo. There's a different requirement in Iloilo, and there's a different requirement in Cebu City and Cebu Province. But one thing is for sure, the requirement is this constant is the rapid test that's acceptable. But the standard test for COVID is PCR test. PCR test is a specimen coming from your throat. Perhaps
like
it's a
swab,
like swab test, but it's like swabbing. But the rapid test is acceptable.
Okay.
But you have to get it 3 days before the date of the travel, and then right after that, once you're done. So I advise you have to get those documents as early as possible, so that once you have your rapid test, you can do directly your medical. Once you have your medical, you can process already at that time your police travel authority.
So there is no limit, like if you get it ahead?
Yes, later on I'll show you the documents, what the travel authority coming from the police would look like. There's a certain barcode, there's a certain scan or QR code that you will scan. So they will know, there's a control code for that. So they will exactly know if that's a fake document, if they will scan it. So that's also the reason.
Do they scan it in the airport?
Yes.
All right.
Everything in the airport, you have to scan. They will scan everything, and you will be required to download a certain application for the contact tracing.
All right. So
and that's aside from your face shield, your face mask,
and your alcohol.
Yes, that's for your own precautions.
Your new outfit.
Yes.
Part of your outfit is face shield and face mask.
And the face mask. But what the requirement is constant is a travel authority coming from the police or the IATF, or that's the task force.
So where you get the IATF?
That's coming from the police.
Police still.
Police. They would ask it whether if you're travel from like by land, by air, or by sea.
Okay. So it depends on what's the rapid test is acceptable.
Because if you will be staying in Cebu City and you're a locally stranded individual, what happened is you need to log into a certain portal for Cebu City. There's a lot of requirements for Cebu City. I don't know why Cebu City has this kind of things, but
because we have the number more than the provinces, some of the provinces have 0 cases because they are very remote. But Cebu City, because this used to be the center of the COVID, but now it's rising up again. That's why they're rising up the requirements. But like, at least it's not locked down, all of us be affected, because it's now clustered. Like your former place where you live is Guadalupe is locked down.
Yeah, I guess for Cebu, what the local government did here was to have a spot lockdown or isolated lockdown More isolation.
Because you know, the barangay captain there is my school classmate, high school. So I'd ask him, Cap, why are you so strict there? So we got a lot of cases where they got the highest number in Cebu City right now. That's why they are locked down. I think they have a curfew of 10 o'clock over there. So it's very quiet right now in Guadalupe. They're very strict now. And at least before, all of us is in lockdown. I mean, proper enhanced community quarantine. And even though like Bulang Batu is only one case and it's even negative, he just recovered immediately. We are experiencing lockdown even though the other places are the one that causes it. But now at least they are very lenient that it has to be clustered, not all of us. And also the governor of Cebu, she opens up the provinces, so you can see the resorts, the economy start to pick up on the provinces because they now can sell.
Tourism is really the prime dependency of Cebu, especially the Cebu province, as a source of income. So it's really not advisable to still close tourism or to close places because for no money would come in. And as our governor, the good governor, would said, people might not die of COVID, but people might die of hunger. A lot of people are hungry already, rather. But then again, you can't keep on isolating yourself because what for her is important is the management of this pandemic.
Yep. I think it's almost 5 o'clock. We will miss the tailor. So we will just go somewhere else.